Just a gentle reminder, I request all the participants to keep mute throughout the section. However, you can interact with the speaker during the Q&A section. The section will be live streamed on YouTube also. So today's section is regarding animal husbandry and poultry services. So the today's section has been moderated by Ms. Anu Joseph, Program Executive, KDesk. So over to you, Anu Joseph.
Thank you, Kumreshan, for the introduction, and a very good afternoon to all. Today's thematic topic is animal husbandry and poultry sciences. Today, we have our respected speaker, Dr. Ajith KS, Assistant Professor specializing in animal nutrition at the Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University. Dr. Ajith is a distinguished scholar holding a PhD in animal nutrition and master's and bachelor's in veterinary sciences. His academic journey has been marked by excellence with a rich educational foundation from College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Manoti. Dr. Ajith has not only excelled in academia, but has also been recognized at the national level with a certificate from the Agricultural Scientist Recruitment Board. His commitment to education and research is evident in his role as an assistant professor at KVASU, where he has been actively engaged since 2020. Acknowledged for his outstanding contributions, Dr. Ajith has received accolades for the second best poster and oral presentations by the National Nutrition Society of India. His research has found its way into reputable journals with articles such as Assessment of Nutrient Digestibility in Dry Dog Foods and Determination of Digestibility in Wild Ungulates. Dr. Ajith has spearheaded impactful research projects, including the evaluation of complete feed for meat production in calves. His ongoing work focuses on augmenting livestock productivity through genomic and nutritional interventions, with a keen interest in enteric methane mitigation. His diverse expertise is complemented by a range of training programs attended, covering topics from cattle management to office automation. Dr. Ajith's commitment to staying at the forefront of his field is reflected in his participation in various national and international seminars and conferences. Dr. Ajith KS is not just an academia, but a thought leader in the realm of animal husbandry and poultry. His dedication to advancing knowledge, coupled with his practical contributions to the field, make him a valuable speaker for today's section. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the nice introduction. In fact, it was much lengthy. Actually, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming to the topic, actually, I believe that the audience may be a mixed audience type, maybe from the school, then from colleges or polytechnics like that, and may not be having that much experience in the investment sector. So I would like to start this presentation or continue this presentation by having a superficial idea on the investment sector. That only I want to share with you. And later on, we will have an interactive sections. You can ask so many questions. I think that will be the most important thing, because you have so much queries, and I can address it with my capability. So it will be better, I think so. So coming to the investment sector, I will just first focus on our college, our university. I belong to just a minute, it's lagging. Okay. Okay. I belong to Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, and we have, you can see the headquarters here. So this is at Pukod, that is in Wayanad district. So we have that headquarters at Wayanad district, and we have one more veterinary college at Manuti. So in fact, that Manuti college started earlier. It started in 1955. So it's one of the oldest colleges in Kerala. Um, and since then, it has been the institution wherein most of the veterinarians um, have been passed out, have been studied. So I am now stationed at Manuti Veterinary College at the nutrition department. So this is about our veterinary university, and we have jurisdiction over the entire state of Kerala, and we have our presence in about 5 districts, that is in Trivandrum, then Idiki, then Trichur, then Palakkad, and Wayanad. Okay, this district we are having our presence, our institutions are there, but whenever there is requirement, we may be going to different districts and will be exercising our expertise. So here we have different affiliations with the different institutes like Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So it comes under the education system. Everything comes under two from the two institutions. That is from the Veterinary Council of India. The syllabus and all will be given by the Veterinary Council of India. Then also the ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, also will be giving the necessary guidelines. We have got many labs which is having NABL accredited ones, so that the results and all are very much authenticated. So different labs are there that we'll be seeing later, and it's coming under the UGC, and it's accredited by the Association of Indian Universities, AIU. And we have collaborations with many universities, and we have given MOUs with the different universities, different colleges, national institutes, different industrial partners are also there. So and amongst that, one of the most important one is the worldwide university network, wherein our university is a member, and we have got a farm identified, which is identified as the Silent Valley platform. It's situated at the buffer zone of the Silent Valley at Tiruvirankunnam, Palakkad district. And many research works are going on in that farms. So recently, many faculties have visited and exchanged ideas on the World University Network platform. So coming to the academic organization of the university, we have 3 colleges, so or 3 faculties. So one is the veterinary science faculty, as I already told, that the colleges coming under the veterinary science includes the College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences Manuti, then College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences Pukod. There is another faculty which is called as the Dairy Science, wherein 4 colleges are there. When at Manuti, Varghese Kurian Institute of Dairy Science and Food Technology, that is one college at Manuti, that is at Trichure. At Pukod, Wayanad, we have a College of Dairy Science and Technology college. At Chettachal, that is at Trivandrum, we are having one CDST college. Then at Kolahalamade, Idiki, we are having another. And poultry science, we are having the college that is CASM college at Thiruvirankunnam, Palakkad district, and we are trying to make it a hub of poultry in Kerala, and so much facilities have added so that the name and all are increasing. And recently we are giving one degree from that college, and there is 100% placement for the students from there. Actually, from almost every veterinary science colleges or dairy science colleges or poultry science colleges, the students will be having the placement about maybe 100% they will be placed. So uh, only those which who opt for any higher studies or opt for any other personal activities will be left without any jobs. Almost everybody will be having the jobs. So uh, so coming uh, to the area wherein we can have a look for the different innovations and all, is that the basic things that are uh, advocated under the investment sector includes the feeding of these animals, and how best we can feed these animals, and what are the different ingredients that can be given to the animals. That's one sector. The second one is the breeding of this animal, how we can breed these animals, and how we can get good quality offsprings or good quality next generation animals from the mothers. So what can be done in the breeding aspects. The third one is the disease prevention and treatment. So many diseases are there. You might have heard of a word which is called as a zoonosis, zoonotic diseases. Zoonotic diseases are those diseases which can uh, come, which can transmit from the animals or animals to the human beings. So such diseases, how we can prevent these diseases for coming for you might have heard of the COVID and all. Yeah, it's also a zoonotic disease. Then rabies. So from the rabid dogs and all, we can get the disease. Human beings can get the disease. So how we can prevent all these diseases? That's another thing, and how we can prevent the diseases that are occurring in animals. That's another area. So development of vaccines, development of diagnostics, how we can uh, diagnose a disease by using different kits or methodologies for development of that kits. That's another area, and then treatment also. So if an animal gets some diseases and all, we have to go for the treatment of these animals. So how best you can treat the animals. If there is any surgical intervention is needed, how best you can go for a surgery, and you can treat an animal to and uh, we can save these animals from the sufferings and pain. That's another thing. And the next is the management. So this is another very much important thing, because if a good management is given to these animals, almost we can go without any diseases. So diseases can be prevented by an effective management. So in this climate change scenario and all, that's it's another area which requires a high importance. So what animals we'll be studying? We'll be studying from the microorganisms to the microorganisms, like these organisms may be bacteria, viruses, then protozoa. All these things we'll be studying, and to the macro animals, maybe up to the elephants, which is the um, most, which is the biggest animal in the territorial earth. So all these things will be dealt under the veterinary and or uh, poultry scenario. So it's a very vast subject, and it cannot be covered in one hour or so, 1 hour or half an hour. It cannot be covered. Just I can give a simple uh, hint that only I can do. And from the beneficial microorganisms to those which causes the diseases. So there are some beneficial microorganisms. So that especially in the case of uh, like ruminants and all. Ruminants means the plant-eating animals. Means the animals which are herbivorous animals, which is eats the plant. Okay, so there is a basic difference between a plant-eating animal and a carnivorous animal, a herbivorous animal and a carnivorous animal. If you consider our case also, what happens when we eat some grass, when we eat some leaves of plants and all? So mostly it won't be digested and given out. So what is happening? Our digestive system, or the digestive system of a mammalian mammal, cannot digest a grass or a, a herb or any other plant material, but a herbivorous animal like that of a cattle, like that of a deer, all these things uh, can digest these plant materials. So how it is occurring? So only the microorganisms can liberate the enzymes which can digest the plant materials that is containing the cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, etc. So the fiber that can be digested by the microorganisms, and these plant materials will be digested only by the microorganisms, and these microorganisms are beneficial. Rather, they are needed for the life of these herbivorous animals. So we have to study about the beneficial microorganisms. Then we have to study about the disease causing microorganisms, those which is causing some tuberculosis, like Shayam, the tuberculosis that we have to study. We have to study about the COVID. What are the organisms that is causing the COVID that we have to study? So all these things we have to study. And from the small animals like mice, like it may be required for various experiments. And in fact, we are having a unit which is called as the small animal breeding station, wherein we are distributing animals for like experimental animals from mice, rats, then hamsters, guinea pigs, rabbits, and all for the experiment purpose. So the about maybe about 5,000 animals are given every year to different colleges, research stations, etc., all over Kerala. So we will be keeping, or we will be studying those which is occurring in the mice, and also to the elephants. What are the problems that are occurring in the elephants? Also, what are the management strategies that have to be educated in upkeeping of the elephants? So all these things we have to study. So this is in a nutshell about the animal husbandry sector. And from this, you will be knowing that it's a very vast area. You can take any small area for your research work, or to your area of interest, and you can build up your requirements, etc. So coming to the feeding. So what is happening in the case of a feed in the case in India? So from these are the requirements, or the deficits that can be seen in the case of feed. So usually a sustainable dairy sector will be will be based only on the fodder, or the plant materials. So we have to give good quality plant materials to the especially to the dairy animals. Then only it can be sustained. It can be sustained for a long time. So these animals can be reared for in a very low expenditure. If you are going for the concentrates and all, it will be fetching more amount, and it will be no, it will not be beneficial to the farmers. So in order to cater the requirement of the farmers, we have to go for the green fodders. If you check the fodder condition in the 2025, the dry fodder, there is a deficit of 21.27 percentage of dry fodder is deficit, means straws, hays are deficit by about 21.27 percentage, and green fodder, because due to lack of area for cultivating the green fodder, etc., there is only 40% reduction is there. 40% deficit is there, and in the case of concentrates, that is it's about 38.09% reduction is there. So this is the condition of all India. Kerala is also having a similar effect, and you can go for on strategies in order to improve the feeding, the feed status of the animals. So how we can you can go for these things. There are different materials that are available locally. Locally there are different material available. I given only very two or three only, which can be used as feeds and all. In your locality also there may be different feeds which can be used. So here's a mango seed kernel. This is jackfruit. This is plantain rhizome. This is water hyacinth. So these things are available, and you can make use of these many such available things and all. You can formulate a feed locally, and we can be given to the animals so that the farmers can get it at a very low price. So this conventional feeds. So we have to uh, change from the conventional feed so that the unconventional feedstuffs can be used for effectively for the animals. Next comes the breeding. Coming to the breeding, we have to understand one status that India is considered as the biggest or largest producer of milk in the whole world. India is producing the most, the highest quantity of milk. But if you consider the per capita productivity, per capita means that is milk produced by a single animal, it is at the 134th position. That means India have the highest milk production only because the India have the higher number of milk producing animals. So that we have to take into account, because we have to increase the per capita milk production. Or nowadays, the average milk production from a crossbred animal in the case of in India is about 6 liters per day, whereas it is about 30 liters in the case of uh, developed countries like US, Canada, etc. And if you consider the indigenous animals, that means mature or it's a local animals and all, the production will be about 1.29, like that it will be there, which is very much less. So we have to go on different strategies so that the per capita productivity is increased. So one strategy is to go for a good nutritional intervention so that the animals will be getting their feed, so that it will be producing sufficient milk. And here, what you can go for is that will usually these crossbreeding means these individual animals which is producing very less can be inseminated or can be bred with the higher producing animals, so that their offsprings will be producing much more uh, milk. So the strategy that's being adopted is the artificial insemination. So you may be seeing this artificial insemination is being done in almost everywhere. So I will just narrate how it's being done. You will be collecting a best bull. That bulls has been tested so that it will be producing a good quality semen, and which will produce a good quality offspring, good quality cows. So that best bull we will be selecting genetically best bull we will be selecting, and we will be collecting the semen from that, and from there it will be produced into straws, and it will be kept in liquid nitrogen, and it will be later inseminated into the cows on heat. So this is being done. So by this method, a bull can give birth to so many offsprings are having a high capacity to produce more amount of milk. So this is being done. So, but the problem with this artificial insemination is that the animals, the success of these artificial inseminations is only about 30 to 35% only. So if we take three inseminations, then only there will be one offspring will be produced. So is there any method to reduce the number of inseminations? Most of this occurring is due to some infection is going inside the uterus. So is there any method to reduce the infection in the uterus during these inseminations? So all these things, or is there any method to improve the viability of the sperms during inseminations? Is there any method for increasing the keeping quality of the semen, of the sperm, etc.? So all these things can be checked into. And another method that is coming under the breeding is the embryo transfer. So embryo transfer is nothing but we will take an oocyte. Or oocyte means the ovum from a cow, which is having a high productivity, that will be collected, and we will mix it with the semen of of a good quality bull. Then fertilization will be taking place in outside. Outside will get the fertilization, and this uh, fertilized embryo. Fertilization, after fertilization, we'll be getting the embryos, and this embryo will be transferred to a cow, a surrogate cow, so that it will produce the offspring, good quality offspring. So you can make so many extracts, so many oocytes or ovum from a cow. You can get about 15 to 18 ovum from a cow. So this can be fertilized in outside, and each embryo can be deposited in a cow, so that the cow will be producing an offspring. So this technology can be increase this type of technology, and uh, how easily we can operate these things, so that uh, it will be available at the doorstep to every farmer, so that embryo can be deposited into their cows, and you can get good offsprings. So this type of activities, how best we can go for this type of activities, that has to be founded upon. Next comes the disease prevention and treatment. And for that, so many colleges, hospitals are there. This is one of the hospitals that is available in Veterinary College, Manati. And we will have specialty services, like in clinical medicines. If we get one disease, how we can prevent how we can treat these animals, how we can prevent the medicine, prevent the animals from getting these diseases. For how uh, how we can go for vaccinations and all, uh, how we can develop these vaccines. All this comes under the preventive medicines. And then comes the surgery, wherein you can go for a surgery in order to relieve the pain of these animals. Even the exotic animals, like a python, is getting some surgical treatment here. So then endoscopy, in order to diagnose some diseases in the intestines also, endoscopy can be done. Then imaging, uh, imaging devices, like scanning, X-ray scanning, all these things can be done. So is there any methodologies by which you can improve the diagnostic facilities in these hospitals and all, that can be pounded upon. Then different equipments that are being used are imaging radiography, then echocardiography, ultrasonography. Then can have any ambulatory services for taking up the animals to the hospitals and taking them back. then clinical laboratories and all. Is there any good diagnosis can be developed in these clinical laboratories? So all these things can be done. So different labs are also set up either, and different methodologies are also being developed for different analysis and rules. So these labs, how best these labs can be used for finding out the different requirements, etc. So what are the different methodologies by which you can go for the treatment, go for the control of diseases, etc. So these are different labs. Then there are different instruments are also there. So you can make use of some of these instruments at our facility. You can come over here, you can do the tests and all, and you can, many instruments are there, about maybe about 30 crores costing instruments are there in our central instruments facility. So only 3 has been given. So if you have any chemical also, any element also that has to be identified, that has to be tested for any good any new for devising new drug or any other thing, you can come to the veterinary university and you can make use of these facilities, and it can be done with a nominal cost and all. Then coming to the management, the last part, with that we will be ending our sessions. So the housing of animals and birds is of very much important. So this has been these animals has been kept in the college for different laboratory uses and all, and these animals are being bred in the premises of the farmers for in order to giving some income to the investors. So investment sector is an emerging sector wherein the poverty reduction and income generation can be income generation capacities are much more in the case of this investment sector. So many people are going for the rearing of these animals, and a proper housing is requirement. A proper housing, proper management, proper rearing practices are required for keeping these animals in healthy conditions. Nowadays, the welfare is also very much important, and we have to keep these animals in a which will aid the welfare to these animals. So, what are the methodologies by which you can change a small changes? You can bring about small changes that will help in giving more which will help in increasing the welfare of these animals. So that's about housing animals, and this is being much more important in the present scenario, wherein there is a very great concerns of the global warming. However, the temperature of the earth is increasing, and as a result, the icebergs are melting, and it may cause many extinction of many species. It may cause extinction of our life also. So scientists are very much concerned about this global warming effect and greenhouse effects. And so under these conditions, what are management strategies that has to be adopted in order to reduce the heat stress of these animals, in order to help these animals to be reared in a more effective way, or very compassionate way, how we can do all these things. So these things are very much important here. So with this, I am ending the presentation. It's only a very brushing point only. I given only some facts only. I think it's better that we can go for the question answers wherein you can clear your doubts and queries, etc. With that, I am ending. Okay, thank you. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful section. So, right now, for question section, ആർക്കെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇടാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ചോദിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. Sir, ഒരു question നേരത്തെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. How does the animal husbandry contribute to the food security?
Okay, can I answer that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The It's a very pertinent question. So actually, that is the basis of this animal husbandry itself. So why we are going for the animal husbandry activities means the food that is being required by the human beings are of mainly two types, maybe proteins, then it will be then the carbohydrates. So proteins will be giving the building blocks of the animals for growth, etc. This protein is required. And second one is the energy for our daily activities. So energy we will be getting from mostly the carbohydrates and all, wherein where different cereals like your rice, your wheat, etc., will be providing the energy. Some amount of the protein is also given by the some protein concentrates, maybe like your peanuts, nuts, etc., having some amount of this energy. Means sorry, protein. So, coming to the quality of the protein, if you consider the animal protein sources have the best uh, pattern of amino acids, so that it will be readily absorbed into the body, and it will help in the building up of the body. For the growth and also, there is requirement of the cell growth is required. For the development of the cells, protein is required. You know about the absorption of protein. Absorption of proteins means the proteins are usually the amino acids, which are the building blocks of the protein, are being absorbed by the animals, and later on, whenever the correct proportion of these amino acids are available, then only a protein is formed. If if in any case wherein there is only about 12 amino acids are required for a protein, and only one amino acid is there, then that protein is not formed. Instead, that amino acids all will be destroyed, and it will be utilized for the energy purpose. So good quality protein is very much important for the growth of the animal, growth of a human being. And for this purpose we need a good quality animal protein. This good quality animal protein will be helpful for the immune bodies formation in order to combat our diseases and all. We require immune bodies and all these antigens or all these antibodies, etc., are the proteins only. So in order to get good quality protein, you require the animal protein. And this animal protein, this requirement has to be met from these animals. And and for this purpose, it will help in the in the upcoming of or the health of the human beings. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, ഒരു question കൂടി ഉണ്ട്. How does climate and environment factors affect animals and poultry farming?
Okay. So uh, you are knowing the effects of the climate change. So now you are not getting much rains during the monsoon season, isn't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
June and all, we may not be getting the rains. Instead, that we'll be getting much more rains in the September. Maybe this year you got rain in January also. We have not experienced such a thing. Okay, so these things are happening. So you are just experienced these things and all. So there may be a change in the global temperature. The global temperature is increasing. So and there is increase in temperature during the mid noons and on noon time. There will be much more higher temperature, There may be a much more higher heat waves will be there, heat like hot winds will be there. So all this will cause some heat stress to these animals. So the optimal temperature that is required for the growth for the animal is actually about 25 degrees centigrade. But we know our temperature may be about 35 degrees centigrade, maybe it may rise up to 42, maybe 45, like that it's increasing. So all these causes much stress to these animals, and it will what they will be doing in order to reduce the stress. So one thing is that they will reduce eating. So if we are eating more, then it will generate more heat inside the body, and it will add to the heat, so that what they do is that they will stop eating. So it will reduce their health, and it will cause many other problems which will affect the health of these animals. So heat stress has to be reduced. So you have to go for any methodologies by which you can reduce the heat stress. You can make a machine like it will spray some water, on the animals, and or when the temperature is increasing, when the humidity is increasing, it will spray some methodologies by which it will reduce the heat stress of these animals. So all these things can be done in order to combat the heat stress. Okay, sir.
Okay. Sir, another question on chat. It's asked by Fatima. Sir, to which all animals are artificial insemination highly effective, or is it only applicable towards cow?
Nowadays, artificial insemination is being done even for goats and all. Dogs, artificial insemination is being done in dogs, where in some animals we have some hindrance in mating and all. We'll be collecting this semen, and we'll be injecting that. We can, like nowadays, it's this artificial insemination is rampant in the case of cows only, but it can be applicable to any species of the animal. Like dogs, you can go for that. Goats, sheep, and all, you can go. Artificial insemination is being done in camels, etc. Pigs also, it is usual phenomena. You can go for the artificial insemination in pigs. Even for uh, poultry also. Poultry also, we can go for the artificial insemination. Nowadays, so many farms are practicing this artificial insemination in poultry. So these things are in a nascent stage. Once it's growing up stage, so many researchers are needed in order to improve this type of activities, to extend this artificial insemination in different animals. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So, ആർക്കെങ്കിലും
Sir,
ഒരു question ചോദിച്ചു?
സർ നമുക്കിപ്പോ YIP-ല് 13 വയസ്സ് തൊട്ട് 35 വയസ്സ് വരെയുള്ള ആൾക്കാരാണല്ലോ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പം അവർക്ക് ഏതൊക്കെ ഒരു മേഖലയിൽ അവർക്ക് ഇന്നോവേഷൻ കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ സാധിക്കും എന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ച് ഒരു ബ്രീഫ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ഔട്ട്ലൈൻ പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? കാരണം നമുക്കപ്പോ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിലേക്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഈ ഒരു ഐഡിയ എത്തിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമല്ലോ, ഏതൊക്കെ മേഖലയിലേക്ക് അവർക്ക് ഇന്നോവേഷൻ കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ പറ്റും എന്ന രീതിയിൽ.
ഓക്കെ മാഡം, ഞാനൊരു ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഇപ്പൊ അതില് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഇപ്പോ വളരെ ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഇപ്പോ ഞാൻ ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഫീഡിങ് പോലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ അടുത്ത സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ, നിങ്ങളുടെ നൈബർഹുഡിലുള്ള ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഫീഡ് മെറ്റീരിയൽസ്, അത് നമുക്കൊരു ഫീഡിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? അതിനുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും ടോക്സിക് മെറ്റീരിയൽസ് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? അതിനെ ആ ടോക്സിക് മെറ്റീരിയൽസ് നിന്ന് മാറ്റാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ചെറിയ ചെറിയ ഇന്നോവേഷൻസ് നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇത് എങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ അനിമൽസ് നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നു, നമ്മളത് ഒരു ഒരു എല്ലാം കൂടിയിട്ട് ഒരു മിക്സ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ബ്ലോക്ക് മാതിരിയാക്കിയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിനെ കൊടുക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? അങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കൊടുക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുമെങ്കിൽ അതിന് പറ്റാവുന്ന ഒരു മെഷീൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? ഒരു ഒരു കോമ്പാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു മെഷീൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചെറിയൊരു പെല്ലറ്റ് മാതിരിയാക്കാൻ പറ്റുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ പെല്ലറ്റ് മെഷീൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? അത്തരം രീതിയിലുള്ള ചെറിയ ചെറിയ ഇന്നോവേഷൻസ് നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. പിന്നീട് നമുക്ക് കുറച്ചും കൂടി ഹയർ ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ചിന്തിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഇപ്പോൾ ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇൻസെമിനേഷൻ പോലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ഒരു ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, ഇത് ഇൻസെമിനേഷനിലെ ഒരു 30% വരുന്നുള്ളൂ. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ഇപ്പൊ മെയിൻ പ്രശ്നം വരുന്നത് അതിൽ എൻഡോമെട്രൈറ്റിസ് കാരണമാണ്. എൻഡോമെട്രൈറ്റിസ് എന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻ കാരണമാണ്. ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻ്റെ ഒരു റീസൺ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ഇൻസെമിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഡങ് അതിനുള്ളിൽ യൂട്രസിനുള്ളിൽ കുറേശ്ശെങ്കിലും ചെറിയ പോർഷനെങ്കിലും ഡങ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ മൈക്രോ ഓർഗാനിസംസ് അതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ കയറുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കാം. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇൻസെമിനേഷൻസിന് നമുക്ക് ഇത് പ്രിവെൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും മെത്തഡോളജീസ് നമുക്ക് ഡിവൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കും. നിങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കുന്ന ഗണ്ണ് എന്നാണ് പറയുക, ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇൻസെമിനേഷൻ ഗണ്ണ് എന്നാണ് പറയുക. ആ ഗണ്ണിൽ നിങ്ങൾ എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെറിയ ഇൻ്റർവെൻഷൻ കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിനെ ഇത് പ്രിവെൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സാധിക്കുമോ എന്നുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചിന്തിക്കാം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ബ്രീഡുകൾ, നല്ല ഒരു ബ്രീഡ് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ ഇൻസെമിനേഷൻ വളരെ പോപ്പുലർ ആക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ആപ്പ് പോലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? ഒരു ഡോഗ്സിൻ്റെ കേസിൽ കൂടുതലായിട്ടും മേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനാണ് സാധിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ മേറ്റിംഗ് അതിന് വേണ്ടി ഓണേഴ്സിനെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്തെങ്കിലും കാര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നല്ലൊരു ഫീഡ് അത് നിങ്ങൾ ലോക്കലായിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഫാമേഴ്സിനെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ആപ്പ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സാധിക്കുമോ? അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഡിസീസ് പ്രിവെൻഷനൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് നോക്കുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു രോഗം വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ രോഗത്തിനെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മാറ്റുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്, അതിനെ പ്രിവെൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് പ്രാക്ടീസസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അഡോപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? ഇപ്പോൾ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു 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 ഹീറ്റ് കൂടുതലായിട്ട് വരുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ ഹീറ്റ് സ്ട്രെസ് ഒഴിവാക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഫാൻ പോലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ എന്തെങ്കിലും മെത്തഡോളജി വെച്ചിട്ട് അത് ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കായിട്ട് ഈ ഹീറ്റ് കൂടുതലുള്ള സമയത്ത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? ഹീറ്റ് കുറക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുമോ? അങ്ങനെ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് മെത്തഡോളജീസ് ആയിട്ട് ഓരോ കാര്യങ്ങളെയും കുറിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇനിയും ഇന്നോവേഷൻ വേണ്ട ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് ഈ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ് മേഖലയിലുണ്ട്. അത് നമുക്ക് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നല്ലൊരു മെൻറ്ററും ഒക്കെ ആക്കി കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ നമുക്ക് സാധിക്കും.
താങ്ക് യു സാർ.
സാറിന്റെ ഒരു ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നല്ലോ, അസസ്മെന്റ് ഓഫ് ന്യൂട്രിയന്റ് അഡ്ജസ്റ്റബിലിറ്റി ഇൻ ഡ്രൈ ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ്സ്.
ഓക്കെ
സാർ അതിനെ കുറിച്ചൊന്ന് പറയാമോ?
നമ്മള് സാധാരണ ഗതിയിൽ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ്സ് നമ്മൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കാം. ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ്സ് നമുക്ക് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പലതരം ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതെല്ലാം ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ്സ് നമ്മൾ നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റഡി ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ ഭയങ്കര വിലയാണ്. ഇത് ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ്സിനെല്ലാം ഭയങ്കര വിലയാണ്. അത് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന അതിനെപ്പറ്റി പഠിക്കാൻ നമ്മൾ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനെ പറ്റിയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു തരാൻ പറ്റാവുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ എവിടെയും ഇല്ല. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇതെല്ലാം പ്രൈവറ്റ് പ്ലെയേഴ്സ് ആണുള്ളത്. അവർ നമുക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു തരാനോ അങ്ങനെയോ ഒന്നും അവർ മുന്നോട്ട് വരുന്നില്ല. ആ ഒരു ഘട്ടത്തിലാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ വെറ്റിനറി യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ ഒരു ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ് യൂണിറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ ഞങ്ങൾ ശ്രമിച്ചത്. ഞങ്ങൾ കുറച്ചധികം പൈസ ചിലവായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞങ്ങൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ് ഒരു യൂണിറ്റ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടാക്കി. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഏകദേശം 100 kg per 150 kg per hour എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു യൂണിറ്റാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഇപ്പം ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഒരു ദിവസം 200 കിലോ മാത്രമാണ് നമ്മൾ ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ. ബാക്കി കാരണം അത് നമ്മൾ മാർക്കറ്റിംഗ് പോലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ നമ്മൾക്ക് അത്രയ്ക്ക് കൂടുതലായിട്ട് വന്നിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നമ്മൾ ചെറിയ ഒരു എമൗണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് 200 കിലോ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഒരു ദിവസം നമ്മൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ. അത് നമ്മുടെ ഔട്ട്ലെറ്റ്സ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് സെയിൽസ് കൗണ്ടർ വഴി നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ സെയിൽ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഫീഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഈ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഡോഗ് ഫുഡ് നമ്മൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുമ്പോൾ അതൊരു എക്സ്ട്രൂഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുള്ള പ്രോസസ്സിൽ കൂടെയാണ് അത് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്. അതായത് അതിന് ഫീഡ് ഇൻഗ്രീഡിയൻസ് സ്റ്റീമായിട്ട് മിക്സ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു എക്സ്ട്രൂഡർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മെഷീനിൽ കൂടെ കടത്തി വിടുകയും അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ വെച്ചിട്ട് പല തരത്തിലുള്ള ഹീറ്റിംഗ് നടക്കുകയും അത് ഹീറ്റിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് വരുന്ന എയർ അതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ തന്നെ ട്രാപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു കണ്ടീഷൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കുകയും അങ്ങനെ ഇതൊരു ബൾജ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന, നമുക്കറിയാം നമുക്കൊരു നമ്മുടെ ഫീഡെല്ലാം ഇപ്പോൾ അക്വേറിയത്തിലുള്ള ഫീഡുകൾ, ഫിഷിന് കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഫീഡുകൾ ഫ്ലോട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. ഫ്ലോട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനൊരു കാരണം എന്താ വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ ചെറിയ ചെറിയ എയർ പോക്കറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള എയർ പോക്കറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ബൾജ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ പെലറ്റബിലിറ്റി കൂട്ടുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് വേണം ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഫീഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഫീഡ് നമ്മൾ അത് അങ്ങനെ അതിൻ്റെ മെത്തഡോളജി നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുകയും നമ്മൾ ഫീഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി തുടങ്ങുകയും ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഫീഡ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അത് എത്രത്തോളം ഡോഗ്സിന് അത് കഴിക്കും എന്നുള്ള കാര്യം നമ്മൾ നോക്കേണ്ടി വരും. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇത് കഴിക്കുമ്പോൾ അത് അതിൻ്റെ ഹെൽത്തിനെ എത്രത്തോളം എഫക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഒരു PG സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഈ വർക്ക് കൊടുക്കുകയും PG സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റ് ഏകദേശം 4 മാസത്തോളം ഈ അതിനെ ഫീഡ് ചെയ്യുകയും അതിൻ്റെ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ്